Hey there, LEGO fam. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin and you're watching Good Life Bricks. Today I want to talk to you about LEGO Star Wars set 6206 Tie Interceptor. This set is from 2006. So it's old, but it's a unique and it's kind of a special set because it's really the start of the more modern version of the Tie Interceptor. So I want to take you through a quick review. We'll look at the minifigure, we'll look at the build, we'll talk about some of the pros and the cons and what I like and don't like. Before we do that, if you would click the like button if you like what you see here, and then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That helps me out quite a bit. Other than that, let's dig in. The 2006 Tie Interceptor was unique because it was really the first time that LEGO sought to put more durability into the set. And I'll show you what I mean. Here along the wings, they use this larger piece that locked in to the body of the ship. And that helped a lot. They also started to put pieces up here and right here to keep the wing whole and solid. And you can see that they have a brace piece that goes all the way along the interior of the wing on all four panels. The other thing that makes this unique is how angular and sleek they made it. Previous Tie Interceptors were a little boxier, maybe a little bulkier. This is really minimalist, and we'll look at some of the really modern sets, and you'll be able to see maybe where they got some of the inspiration for today's newer sets. There was still some things about this set that maybe bother me a little bit, you know, like this piece that has the wing gun on it. It could easily break off. And so, you know, those are the types of things that I like to see covered with other pieces and braced so that they're more durable. But I think they did a better job here. So from a pro's perspective, you know, it was very sleek and angular. Looked a lot more like today's modern sets, and which is great. On the con side, though, the blue trim still bothers me. And, you know, I was trying to figure out what is it about the blue trim that LEGO bought into. And after I did a little research, I found some things that actually made sense. First of all, and I didn't know this, the original TIE Fighter and TIE Interceptor models were intended to have blue tones to them. They didn't do it in the first movie, A New Hope, because they didn't want the blues getting lost in the space scenes or the sky scenes on planets. So they stuck with gray. But in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, they actually added a little bit more bluish tone to the ships. So I think LEGO really nailed that with their light and dark bluish grays. I just don't think, you know, all of this blue is right. It's just not very accurate. So for me, that's a bit of a con. But, you know, not to worry, because as we all know, in the modern sets, they've gotten away from these blues. I guess it makes it unique, though, and a little bit more collectible. This set is kind of a hard one to find. And so, you know, it's all right. So another thing that I really like about it is this has a fully opening cockpit, which for any of you out there that have larger hands, if you just pull open this top here, you can't get the figures in and out very easily. But this gives you the ability to reach in, pull the figure out, you know, easily get it back in. The other thing that's kind of cool is that they made a movable control panel, and it's the first of the TIE fighters that had that. Now, a lot of today's TIE fighters have the movable control sticks or what have you, but this is a precursor to that, and that's pretty good. As we look at the minifigure, he is just your basic TIE pilot. You would, back in the day, and it was not unique to this set, but you would see him in Tie Fighters or Tie Interceptors. And all black, just like today's. He's got this silver Imperial insignia. A little bit of printing with some color on the front print, and that's kind of nice. And then no back printing, and then, like I showed you earlier, just the plain black head. So not anything super unique or great about the minifigure. Fairly common, but obviously the right figure to have with a ship like this from 2006. For comparison's sake, I brought in the Tie Interceptor from the 2023 LEGO Star Wars set 75348. This Tie Interceptor really does bear a striking resemblance to the model from 2006. Very angular, very sleek in design. Look at the guns on the front of the wings are very similar. The center portions here are the rectangular boxy area. Just as you look through here, even the gray highlights and the blue highlights make up similar patterns. So from a comparisons perspective, there are a lot of similarities. So what are the differences? Well, the first is the size. This 2006 model is quite a bit smaller, not exceptionally so, but it's got another inch or two in terms of the wingspan, and it's probably got a difference of about 300 to 400 pieces. I know the total set for 75348 is over 900 pieces, but it's also got 2 ships in it. So I'm estimating this one at around 600 pieces, while this one is 212. When you put that many pieces together in a set, you improve the durability. When I compare the two, besides the color, there's not a tremendous amount of difference. This newer Tie Interceptor is much more durable. And as you look at all the reinforcing pieces through here compared to similar ones right over here, this will stay together much better. This also uses Technic pieces, which again I think was probably one of the greatest things that LEGO did in the Star Wars line. They added Technic pieces to the system builds, which means that the ships are going to be more durable. They're not going to fall apart as easily. They're going to stay together, and they're going to be probably that much more fun to play with or to display. As I look at that, I see a pretty dramatic improvement, but from a looks perspective, they're very similar. So one difference here is you've got a 2-step opening mechanism versus this that just slides open like that. They didn't use a steering column like they do in some of the TIE fighters. They put in some trans red pieces here and then a control panel here, and the pilot just sits right behind that. So because you have the top and the front open, it's easy to get the pilot out. So as we take a look at the pilot, there are similarities still. The Imperial insignias on the helmet, although they are larger, and they're white instead of silver. You've got the chest plate, which has similar coloring and design, but you've got printing that goes all the way down the torso down to the legs, and you've got printing on the back. You also have a minifigure face in the nougat color. So that's a pretty dramatic difference. Little more design on the helmet, the lines, the mouth lines, the eye lines, the helmet ridge has lines on it, and a little bit more complex mold. This is a good minifigure, and I like the changes that they made and the improvements that they've made over the course of years. I think this 2006 Tie Interceptor holds up really well if it didn't have so much blue. This is what a Tie Interceptor should look like. This is right on. In fact, I'm not sure that there's a better Tie Interceptor in the LEGO Star Wars line right now. Maybe the UCS version, but that's just much bigger. That's very similar to this, just a lot bigger. This is a great play scale model, and this also fits the scale of most of the other ships in the collection. Now, having said that, going back to the 2006 version, this is scaled correctly. And so I think that's another positive in the pros column for 2006 set. The comparison shows there's not a ton of difference. If this one didn't have blue and was gray and black, like this one, they would be really, really close in terms of looks. And you could argue that, you know, this one might even be a little bit redundant because this one was so well designed, but the looks just aren't quite right. So that's the look that I wanted to give you at Lego Star Wars set 6206 from 2006. And a few more pieces of information that might be helpful. At launch, this set was $19.99. Today, new in box, this set is worth $140. Used, like this one in good condition, is worth right around $35. The total piece count is 212 pieces, and again, it comes with one minifigure, the Imperial TIE pilot who we looked at earlier. So my hope is that as we did the comparison, you understand why I think this is a more modernized version of an older Tie Interceptor set. It's got everything that it needs to have to make it viable, except for the coloring. The blue coloration just doesn't work for me. I don't think it works for a lot of people, but again, it makes it unique, and so makes it collectible. I prefer the coloration of the 2023 model that we looked at, but beyond that, I think this Tie Interceptor has everything that it needs to be viable in anyone's collection. So I hope you get a sense for why I think that. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, I hope you hit the like button. And don't forget to hit this subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future content. I really appreciate you being here, like always. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I look forward to seeing you soon.